Hello everybody, it's me and welcome back to SFF180. It is Labor Day, Monday, September 1st, 2014, and this is Mailbag Monday. I hope you all have had a very good weekend, and if you're enjoying the holiday here in the States today, I hope you're having a good one as well. Here is last week's batch of books, kind of modest, so we should be able to get through these fairly quickly. Okay then, if you are a fan of Kim Harrison's urban fantasies, this would appear to be the final volume in her Hollows series. It's called The Witch with No Name. I'm not particularly, an enthusiast of this particular kind of urban fantasy. But if you've been following this series, and if you are a Kim Harrison fan, well then I guess you know what this is all about. And I'm sure you have been looking forward to it. So this is available not this week, but next week, September the 9th. Tuesday finally comes out. So The Witch with No Name by Kim Harrison, the final Hollows novel. And another HarperCollins package. Okay, everyone, I think this is a little bit more up our street here on this channel. This is the Hieroglyph Anthology. Some of you will remember a few weeks back I got the ARC for this, and it was very, very well received by most of you watching. This is a new anthology edited by Ed Finn and Catherine Kramer, having to do with stories and visions for a better future. This is the Hieroglyph Anthology, and the whole concept of it, as you might remember when you saw this last time, if you watched that episode, is that this is an anthology dedicated to optimistic, positive, forward-thinking science fiction, which frankly has been too little in evidence these days, what with the whole dystopic trend going on, not just in young adult, but now we just get this very, very bleak visions of the future all around SF, and it's time we got back to the kinds of stories that made us enthusiastic fans of the genre in the first place. So this is the Hieroglyph Anthology. It has a number of amazing names in it. I'll just read a few out. Was it Gregory Benford, David Brin, Elizabeth Bear, James L. Cambias, new talent, Brenda Cooper, Cory Doctorow is in this. Lawrence M. Krauss, noted scientist, gives one of the introductions. Rudy Rucker, Carl Schroeder, Neil Stevenson, of course, Bruce Sterling. So the Hieroglyph Anthology, now we have the final copy, and I think it comes out, yes, also, not this week, but next week, September 9th, in hardcover from William Morrow. Because we all need a better future. And here, more Harper. Okay, this is going to be a very Harper-heavy week, looks like. Okay, more of this. What were once ARCs are now finished copies. This is The Getaway God by Richard Kadrey, and it is his newest Sandman Slim urban fantasy novel. Apparently these are really, really good, edgy urban fantasies, not the usual fare. And I think this is probably something like, I don't know, the 5th or 6th book in the series here. But let me just look at, yes, unfolding this elaborate cell sheet, which, holy cow. Okay, filled with monsters, gods, and angels, fallen and otherwise, Richard Kadrey excels at scripting the complexities of these august beings. Nothing is ever quite what it seems, and that's the world Kadrey has created, one in which mortals should be wary of aspiring to understand the machinations of celestial beings, unless they are James Stark, aka Sandman Slim. That is, he's competed, in the infernal gladiator ring against fallen angels. He's tricked God into taking on the mantle of Satan, but now the joke's on him, because every time he saves the damned world, something else just goes to hell. You know, no good deed goes unpunished, I guess, but here we are. The Getaway God is the newest Sandman Slim opus from Richard Kadrey, and it's out now in hardcover. Okay, and here, another finished copy of something that I, again, have already once gotten as an ARC. This is the new novel by M.C. Planck, and it is a flintlock fantasy called Sword of the Bright Lady, and it's coming out from Pyre, from Prometheus Books. Christopher Sinclair goes out for a walk on a mild Arizona evening and never comes back. He stumbles into a freezing winter under an impossible night sky where magic is real, but bought at a terrible price. A misplaced act of decency lands him in a brawl with an arrogant nobleman and puts him under a death sentence. In desperation, he agrees to be drafted into an eternal war, serving as a priest of the Bright Lady, goddess of healing. But when Marcius, god of war, offers the only hope of a way home to his wife, Christopher pledges to him instead, plunging the church into turmoil and setting him on a path of violence and notoriety. To win enough power to open a path home, this mild-mannered mechanical engineer must survive duelists, assassins, and the never-ending threat of monsters, with only his makeshift technology to compete with swords and magic. But the gods and demons have other plans. Christopher's fate will save the world or destroy it. It's a Sword of the Bright Lady, the first in a new series called World of Prime? Yeah, World of Prime, MC Plank. And this is out from Pyre again, next Tuesday, September 9th. And finally, one last HarperCollins package. Okay, well, this is another arc. It's for a book called Black Dog. The author's Caitlin Kittredge, so this is probably an urban fantasy. Oh, no, it says dark fantasy. Oh, well. Now, the book itself says it comes out October 14th, but this is saying October 28th, so one of those dates, you're going to get Black Dog, new book by Caitlin Kittredge. Ava has spent the last 100 years as a hellhound, the indentured servant of a reaper who tracks down errant souls and sends them to hell. When a handsome human necromancer, that guy, convinces her to steal her reaper's scythe, Ava lands in hot water with the demon Lilith, her reaper's boss. Lilith orders Ava to track down the last soul in her reaper's ledger or die trying. But when Ava discovers that Lilith actually sent her after the fallen angel Azrael, she realizes she's being used as a pawn in Lilith's scheme to usurp the throne of hell. Ava's had enough. After 100 years of being used and enslaved, it's time for some payback, and hell's never seen a fury like hers. So there we are. Black Dog. I think it's interesting to note how a lot of urban fantasy is sort of going on this path now. It's getting away from this kind of common lore of vampires and werewolves and zombies and ghosts and what have you, and it's moving more into taking its themes and its ideas and concepts from actual Judean Christian mythos, the real demonology and lore of these actual religions. I reviewed Something More Than Night, that book by Ian Tregillis, which is the kind of combination sort of noir and angelic dark fantasy kind of thing. If you haven't watched that review, check it out. It's a really interesting book. So we'll see if Black Dog sort of continues this tradition. And that's it for this week. Very modest week here, leading into Labor Day, and I suspect probably next week, because the holiday is here impacting the week, and I'm sure a lot of people at publishing houses are taking the week off to be with their families, so we may not get a huge load in the mail for next episode. But in any event, as always, fire up the comments, let me know which of these looks most interesting to you. And again, I hope you're having, if you are celebrating it, my American viewers, I hope you have a very safe and wonderful holiday. And until I see all of you next time, happy reading.